Wait, isn't that the culprit from the last case? I don't know, sir. I'll go and check. We've got a situation! Ah! What were you thinking just materializing like that? I know you want to save a lot of the important locations for later, but I don't see why this layout couldn't immediately name the yard and the warden's office.
Time to inspect every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Thanks for reminding me what this game's predecessor was, but this one has a new recurring phrase for closer inspection. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. And I must scour the footage and send every uttering of this line.
Weird having something like this in a prison, huh? A cage inside a cage.
Technically, Kay, a prison isn't made up of cages, but cells.
What's the difference? No offense, Mr. Edgeworth, but you've got to look at the basic nature of things more.
Yes, and the basic nature of an investigation is the pursuit of accurate facts and information. In which case, let me set the record straight by saying that what we're looking at here is a cage within a workshop, not a cell or another cage. There, I saved everyone the trouble. Can we move on?
Look, there's a whip on top of them. You know who that reminds me of, right? Hey, maybe it's actually hers. Maybe she left it here.
What would Franziska be doing in a place like this? I see no sign of a murder weapon anywhere.
You're right! I didn't even think of that!
Even though we found a stab wound in his neck?
Excusez-moi, but...
Let me just stop you right there. Didn't Weird Al teach you that you should never use quotation marks for emphasis?
those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow.
Mr. Fender, it has been far too long.
I know, right? But even after all this time, I'd still know that deep bow anywhere. And that neck were obs. Manfred von Karma, the man, the legend. Gotta say, didn't expect to see you here.
As well you shouldn't have, but you know what else you shouldn't have? Thought this young man was Manfred von Karma. Not only does he look nothing like von Karma, the identity you named has been dead for over 2 years now.
Can't blame a guy for mixing you two up, though.
Yes you can. There's a very distinct difference, and I'm not gonna waste my time going into intricate detail.
Enchanté, as they say. Fen is the name, defendant's my game. I'm a bit of an ace attorney, eh?
Roll credits. I'd better see what he has to say for himself. So in order to talk to Fender about him representing Knight, I have to manually walk up to him. More of this stuff, eh?
No, dude. What do you know about it? I'll give you 3 choices.
All 3 of these are wrong. Why even give me only these options? I feel like Edward should already know what it is because the game told us when we discovered the body. When they walk through a workshop door, the sensor checks their bracelet. And if they're not supposed to be there, ding-a-ling-a-ling! An alarm sounds. If they let it ring for too long, then bzzz, they get a real shock if you know what I mean. And if they try to break or remove the bracelet, bzzz, a shock 3 times worse than that! In other words, you don't want to end up in prison. You know how to avoid that? Just don't break the law, butthole! Okay, seriously, that sounds like it will be worse than in a real prison, but I wouldn't know, nor do I want to know.
Seeing is believing. Isn't that what they say?
Someone's a Tom Hanks fan.
Seems they decided to try a little experiment in animal therapy a few years back. The cons are assigned a critter each, a buddy to help keep the spirits up.
I bet a convicted felon would love to have some company. Either that or some fresh meat. Hard to tell exactly if I like this or not.
Mr. Edgeworth, were you seriously trying to stare it down?
Yeah, staring down a dog? Terrible idea.
Not for nothing, sir, but your dog handling skills could use some work.
If you've seen the anime, this line is ironic because in that version, Edgeworth actually once owned a dog when he was a child. He still had the dog even after Von Karma adopted him. Carcerado most certainly didn't have his hood up before we walked up to his cell. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this exciting match in Mind Chess Boxing. In the red corner, the genius prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. And in the blue corner, the prisoner Rocky Balboa knockoff Rocco Carcerado. Looks like it's Braves versus Braun tonight.
Throwing in the towel already? That's gotta be a record!
Carcerado, a professional boxer, believes Edgeworth to already be forfeiting, even though, just the same, he could also be on the defense. He could just remove his weights like that? That's terrible security.
Overruled!
Great way to introduce someone, just a little interjection.
Objection!
Oh dear, not you two. Also, do you know what Regina Barry, Clavier Gavin, and Kay Faraday and Eustace Winter have in common? They were all 17 at the same time.
Ignorance is sweet, as they say. So I'm sure most things mean sweet nothings to you.
Ignorance is bliss, Winter, and I don't think sweet nothings means what you think it means. I actually had to Google sweet nothings and found out that it refers to words or acts shared between romantic partners. If this inspires fan art between Eustace and Gumshoe, or honestly anyone else, that's way messed up because Eustace is only 17. Judge Gavelle, I believe I asked for an explanation.
No explanation is required. The guilty verdict is in. The goddess has spoken, and her judgment is final.
Okay, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't explain your actions.
Then what you are saying is that the ends justify the means?
You're bringing an actual rule breaker to mind right now, and this particular rule breaker hasn't been introduced yet.
I've got some bad news, sir. Word down at the precinct is they just arrested somebody for Knight's murder.
Not exactly sure how that's bad news, assuming of course he's just a person of interest at best, maybe even the murderer at worst.
And that's Mr. Edgeworth. He is a prosecutor, but he's not gonna stare a hole into your soul or anything.
Oh, please.
Really?
Really.
Really? You know, maybe you should cut back on the cold stares, especially if they're for literally no reason at all. Thanks to Kay, it sounds like we might finally get some answers at least. And whose fault is that for not keeping a neutral expression the whole time? Like how Apollo should work on his volume? Is it just me, or is she getting better at stealing my thoughts?
You do know everything you think is written all over your face, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't have a comment for this, although I could say that it makes sense for Kay to have been asking the questions she did before this little comment was made.
Yeah, we were best friends. At least I thought we were, but I guess I was wrong about that.
What do you mean?
If I knew him so well, why was it such a shock for me to find out he had killed someone?
He'd tie up his best friend in a car on a freezing Christmas Eve just so his dad could win a contest, but murder is just too much. These policemen, was there a prosecutor with them?
Yes, some kid named DeWinner or something?
Okay. For those not in the know, though to be honest, I'm not sure how many of you watching are not in the know, before Ace Attorney Investigations 2 was officially released in the West by Capcom via this collection I'm playing on for the footage, there existed a fan-made ROM of the DS version that translated the original Japanese text into English. The rival prosecutor character in that version was called Sebastian the Best, and his objection soundbite sounded really geeky. But anyway, I wonder if Simeon referring to Eustace as DeWinner was meant to be a subtle nod to that old name. I know that Capcom was obviously making their own version and were therefore steering clear of the fan translation to avoid influence, but the fan translated version had a huge following before the official version came out, so something like this was probably inevitable. According to the game, it took nearly an hour to talk to Simeon, but according to me, not even close to that long.
Hey, easy there, Detective Flatfoot Sholmes.
Flatfoot Sholmes? And this game originally came out before the Great Ace Attorney even entered development.
The suspect is one Simon E. Sainsbury.
The only result I got from Googling Simony is some TV actress. And Sainsbury? You mean Sainsbury's? A British supermarket?
Guess y'all noticed I kept his name over the door, so to speak, eh? Least I could do for old Gregory, really.
Unlike Phoenix Wright over there, who completely overhauled the Fade Co name, changing it to Wright & Co. I know it was Maya's recommendation, but still.
Let's get things off on the right foot, shall we? A little embrasse, perhaps?
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Right on the kisser.
Well, how else does one greet a new friend, A little smooch is entirely de rigueur, don't you think?
Yeah, but shouldn't they be kissing each other's cheeks and not, fall in the mouth?
No. Yesterday, the circus came to visit. It was a simply spectacular event featuring some terrifically talented animals. Anyone who was anyone had to be there. If you were here at home, you were watching the show with me.
So the prisoners get to watch circus performances too? Why does this sound way more fun than an actual prison?
Oh, what's her name?
It's Waggy, ma'am. She's my little fur end. Waggy? Is that short for Wagahai, perchance?
And that's it. I certainly didn't see anything.
So it had all this time to work on his lying skills, and I see they haven't improved. Also, why is he trying to hide the fact that he found the body? He knows there's an investigation into Knight's murder taking place. I mean, sure, he did try to rob the course, but it's not like he took anything.
The animal show really had to be seen to be believed.
It did it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see?
Let me think. A whale?
Come on! The circus was in town! At least name a proper circus animal! One of the options is to basically call him a zombie.
And then I saw him lying there. A man, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror.
This sounds strangely familiar, doesn't it?
I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's training to be a pet stylist.
Weren't you discovered to have just been a petty thief and the newspaper thing was only a front for your burglaries?
As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door.
The way these doors are positioned, I'm not sure that Solid would have been able to get the angle he needed to see the corpse like that, but let's not have that be the contradiction. But rule breaking isn't exactly a demonstration of remorsefulness, is it?
Oh, but I am remorseful. I always am. I'm a model prisoner after all.
A real model prisoner shouldn't feel the need to remind people that he is a model prisoner every 10 minutes or so. Something tells me he may not have had the best experience with defense attorneys in the past. No kidding. I wonder if this guy was the first culprit to be nailed by that man, by he who could turn any situation on its head.
I remember seeing his ring gleaming as it caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in relief.
Just before we asked Salwa to append his testimony, all he said was that the man was dead as a doornail, no twitch or anything. This statement about the ring was just added so that we could have a lie to present evidence to so we could advance the story. You know what's hilarious about my playthrough? I had this picture taken after I had already uncovered the ring Salwa mentioned, yet in the organizer, the photo always has the ring covered up. Yeah, it's there for the contradiction in Salwa's testimony, but still. Edgeworth shows way more emotion than Phoenix did when he had a toupee thrown in his face, and Edgeworth's usually the calm one. Also, I guess old habits just never die, do they, Solid? And I'm not just talking about lying or stealing either.
Look, I'm just a sweet, innocent witness here.
A sweet, innocent witness with anger issues? Ah, my eyes! What's with the freaking inverted colors?
That's weird. He should be climbing onto that bracelet like the big round lifesaver it is.
What the heck does it mean to climb onto something? Oh, do you mean to say clinging? I see, you're missing a J. Ah, his toupee's back. Okay. I see, so your bracelet is broken. But do they really break that easily? If so, then this prison has a serious security problem. Miles' legwork would be amazing at GameSins.
The show ended just after I'd entered the room, and all the other inmates came trickling down the stairs thereafter. I panicked, rushed back to the other workshop, and started my fake screaming.
I'm surprised he didn't scream for real upon first stumbling upon the body on top of that other scream he did to alert everyone. We have no idea how old Connus is, but no way dude's still standing after that big dog leapt on him like that.
Chess is, after all, a game of war. Soldiers, knights, castles, all doing their utmost to protect the king, all loyal to the last. I have always thought it strange that such a game has no place for a dog.
Is it because the game allows a queen onto the battlefield, or are you just that much of a crazy dog lover?
Still, it's simply a piece I made for fun. Fear not, I play by the regular rules, and with the regular pieces.
But that dog piece was still there even while your game of correspondence chess had been put on hold regarding current circumstances.
His name was Bronco Knight, was it not? Poor unfortunate soul.
You gonna start singing? Gosh, I hope not.
Poor unfortunate souls, it's sad, but true.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth!
That's the best hiding spot she could find. I'm pretty sure the idea was less to hide and more to stay above the dog in case it went after her. If we look at the bottom of the diagram, the files are named A through H from left to right, and the ranks from bottom to top, 1 through 8. But that means the teams are on the wrong sides. White's meant to be positioned at rank 1, and Black's meant to be at rank 8. What is it? Can you show it to us? Yes, sir. I have a small playback monitor with me. A small playback monitor for a VHS tape? I'm not denying such thing exists, but it doesn't look like the guard would have anything on hand at the moment that would play footage from a VHS tape. Also, they're still using VHS tapes in 2019, in a game made in 2011.
Well, Mr. Prosecutor and his little friend.
I know Lang still didn't trust prosecutors even after the end of the first investigations, but now back to calling me Mr. Prosecutor.
You're all just here to cause trouble and turn my investigation into a fart.
Like what happened to his brain when putting that sentence together? Evidence of him was all over that thing? Could you be a little more specific, Mr. Witter?
Do I really have to spell it out for you, Edgeworth? I'd hope even you could put 2 and 2 together.
Stop messing around! The onus is on you to provide a comprehensible testimony! Even with how stupid Eustace is, he should have known that, I agree. What? The stiff lighting at the top opens like a flap door. Neat hiding place for a metal blade like what Eustace suggested, but what function does this compartment serve otherwise? It can't be for the chess pieces since they already have their proper places in the foldable board itself. I'm pretty sure a mark like what was just made on Eustace's face there doesn't just fade in a matter of seconds. But perhaps you might have been better served by remembering this.
What's that?
So not only is Eustace stupid, his memory sucks. I thought it was odd before when he forgot that he never found a weapon in the prison, but then he has to go and forget about the metal detector.
A show featuring animals and performers, performed by members of the Very Big Circus.
That group again? It's been a while.
Do you get to train lions and tigers and bears and stuff?
Lions? Tigers? Bears? Oh my!
There you go, make sure we get the Wizard of Oz quote right. Monkey Tooie. Also, what's the monkey doing with Simeon? Do they think the monkey has something to do with the murder that took place?
She's such an inspiration. There isn't a creature in the world she couldn't convince to do her bidding.
Not even two grown men or a ventriloquist puppet.
For a while I had my dad, but he passed away when I was a little kid.
Yeah, that was it. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Just the inciting of murder at best.
Simeon, me bucko, this guy'll suffer any hardship for your friendship. Things are gonna be shiply amazing.
I didn't realize Talk Like a Pirate Day had come early this year, Fender. Talk Like a Pirate Day honestly sounds exciting. I should start upholding that tradition beginning this year. Actually, it's no wonder Willie Scott hates elephants.
Play with? Your elephant nearly ate me. No way, she'd never do a thing like that.
For one thing, elephants are herbivores, so they only eat plants. Same with rhinos, despite Roald Dahl once writing a book where a rhino devoured 2 human parents. Don't ask.
There, sweetie, don't cry. She had a wonderful time, didn't you, Kay?
Don't mislead the poor girl, Fender!
She did? Oh, I'm so happy!
Even after a year's worth of absence from the series, considering events that took place before, she's still sunshine and rainbows.
I'm Kay, great thief extraordinaire, and Mr. Associate Defense Attorney's great associate.
This self-introduction brought to you by the word convoluted. C-O-N-V-O-L-U-T-E-D. Convoluted. Adjective. Extremely complex and difficult to follow, or intricately folded, twisted, or coiled. Next week, we will learn the difference between bought and brought. For one thing, there's an R in brought, dang it!
Oh, she's not just any elephant. That's Asia, the Asian elephant.
That's racist.
Great thief? That sounds like fun! My animals and I have stolen the spotlight quite a bit in our time. That's the one thing we don't want to steal. Gotta keep it on the down, though. All stealthy ninja-like.
Says the girl who would later go on to talk about dramatic appearances for her heists.
But we have a new ringmaster now, and he's made the circus bigger and better than ever.
A stupid clown that's apparently good in other areas than making jokes.
And not just any story. It's a love story. Isn't that dreamy?
Sounds like a regular riot. So who's the star of the show? Let me guess. You?
No, silly. That would be Asia. And she falls in love with none other than Regent the Tiger. It's a heart-rending saga of forbidden interspecies romance.
Forbidden might be an understatement somehow.
Just leave it to us. He may not look it, but Mr. Edgeworth knows how to get things done.
And what exactly is he may not look it supposed to mean? Are we talking about the same Miles Edgeworth here?
Danger. High voltage. I never saw one of these in real life.
Never? I mean, I guess you've seen danger signs at the Cadopian Embassy, but they didn't say high voltage, did they? Still, though, I'm not sure you haven't seen these signs before. Awful. I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly?
I most certainly do not. They're angels, every one of them, and they always have been.
That's a freaking lie! Did she just kiss a live animal? Not only that, she kissed a live animal on the lips. Lady has a serious animal obsession problem.
Secret weapon number 1, my trusty old metal detector.
I thought that was secret weapon number 3.
Next up, secret weapon number 2, missile, everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine.
Hey, that's supposed to be secret weapon number 1. Also, before Gumshoe says some dumb crap about the fishing pole being secret weapon number 3, it's supposed to be number 2.
Gummy, you're 4 secret weapons short of your so-called 7, and one of them was a fishing rod.
Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll, show you the rest next time.
But we only ever see one other secret weapon the whole game. Maybe even the whole series, unless that bug sweeper counts as one. But we still have no idea what those other 2 secret weapons are. So why the heck does Gumshoe even say 7?
I never would have pegged Mr. Canis as a chess fan, though. What with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going, I thought he'd be more into Go.
You sure? I think he'd be a bigger fan of Qiangqi. That's the Chinese variant of chess, by the way.
No, you can't have it. Dogs can't eat chocolate, you know that. If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself. Not bad.
Well, that's one way to stop a dog from eating chocolate.
What breed were you again, Missile? Sure it wasn't a boxer.
Since Kay asked about breed, might as well answer that Missile is a Shiba Inu, a dog breed commonly used in Japanese law enforcement. Yeah, Japanese law enforcement. I guess America's caught on. Not that I remember ever interacting with a Shiba Inu myself.
Sir, I'll go get her! Oh, that's tight. Shouldn't have eaten that cake!
Fatty. Plastic forks and such, I see what the idea is, but what is that cup? And that saucer? What could a prison breaker use those for?
Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage.
But I didn't show you the footage yesterday. I showed it to you maybe 3 hours ago.
It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice.
And then it led to murder. Why? You gonna explain that?
I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chest set.
But we would later examine the actual pocket chest set itself and still no keys. How can you possibly claim this?
My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence.
You said that 3 hours ago, not yesterday. Why is she constantly saying yesterday? It's the same freaking day.
In the name of the goddess of justice, overruled! Mr. Edgeworth, you are out of line!
How so, Your Honor? Look, I love this game series, and the interjection lines are among the many elements of the series you can't imagine it without. But Gavel's overruled line is overused and often at very inappropriate times. This is just one of many examples. All Edgeworth did is ask how his statements were out of line. You can't just overrule the question and answer it at the same time.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others.
Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours? Whew, sick burn, bruh. The dog! He hasn't made a sound today! Except for the sounds he made 5 hours ago to chase you out. I can hardly believe it. But I think I know where he hid the murder weapon! And you just went and laid it out for me. So Helmut's been keeping the chisel in his mouth this whole time, yet during that time he could still lick his master's face? Did Connors teach him that along with wiping up blood?
Yes, it was but one of my bills. One of only two in existence.
Just two?
Two and only two. One for my knife and one for my beloved Helmut. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide after all, and I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me.
Then obviously the bell from the knife had gotten onto the chisel somehow. Because that knife is in police custody now, and with the chisel as the currently determined murder weapon, I feel like that should be enough to exonerate Simeon, because how could he have gotten the bell from the knife onto the chisel? Unless that's explained, there's really no cause to accuse him. Also, just the same, it should be enough to prove Connors' innocence, because I doubt even Helma could have gotten the bell for him, nor would Connors have wanted him to.
Introducing secret weapon number 4, Lil V!
That sounds like the name of a crappy rapper, or a ca-rapper.
Alright, want me to talk you through how to use it, sir?
Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. Why is he giving me the option? Obviously, this is a new thing I'm not familiar with because while we have analyzed video before, Lil V is different in terms of functionality. Of course we should have Gubs to explain how this fancy device works.
The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. And you can use the middle one to pause.
Completely pointless information unless you're playing on PC because the Switch version, which I'm playing, doesn't support touch control. I'm sure the footage is slowed down a little V from when we view it on the security footage to make it easier for the player to analyze, but what's the in-universe reason for this?
Sir, look!
I'm pretty sure that should be Gumshoe's line, yet the tag says Edgeworth. If Edgeworth really is saying sir, he would have been saying it to Gumshoe. The person in the security footage is the only character to have a bear accompany him, and that same character keeps appearing when thinking over the situation.
If it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 a.m.
In which case, something isn't right about the footage.
Really? And what's that?
What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded? What could possibly answer a time-related contradiction better than, well, the time recorded within the footage?
Fine, you want keys? Here, I hope you choke on them.
You may as well just stick them in our mouths if you're gonna say that. Where did we come across a sweet scent before? Gee, it's almost like we have to read the court record to answer that.
Darlings, please, there is nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean that is not an alarm, it's the dinner bell. Although I suppose it is rather alarming if you aren't used to it.
What kind of dinner bell sounds like a siren, even in a prison?
The lock's broken, and from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time.
Really? Because when we go close up, that lock doesn't look broken.
So, what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide-and-go-seek?
And sully my fancy Von Karma-esque suit? No thanks.
Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air? This is some next level tech, little sis.
I'll say, these screens aren't projected on a wall. That does sound highly advanced, doesn't it? Not even holograms can compare. Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
Should I take it that Kay didn't notice Edgeworth butchering the name of her fancy gadget yet again? It's a metal weight of some kind. It looks like it weighs... the projection makes it a little tricky to read. Yeah, I'm calling it. Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice featured Edgeworth wearing glasses. It actually makes perfect sense why. Both investigations titles indicate Edgeworth's eyesight getting worse. I'm just spitballing here because I can read 30 pounds just fine.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself.
Oh, no. It's all my Philly associates' fault.
Objection, Fender. Objection! Speak up, Mr. Edgeworth! A cart filled with apples for the elephant had been emptied. There's hardly any other conclusion that could possibly exist. Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons.
Roger that!
The metal detector, if you would be so kind.
Oh, jeez. I'm never gonna get to use my fishing rod.
Don't fret, Gumshoe. If, and that's a big if, you're brought back for Race Attorney 7, maybe the writers can find you a chance. For the first and probably only time in Ace Attorney history, we get to take control of Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yay!
Alligator?
Why are we being surprised by the alligator's appearance again? The weight dropped down the well in place of the iron weights was a corpse that apparently weighs 150 pounds, considering that we found 5 iron weights, each weighing 30 pounds. Also, you're really telling me one of these ropes was strong enough to hold 150 pounds worth of steel without breaking? Warden Lagarde is the only one with a key? Meaning if somebody did open the door, they would have had to get it from her somehow. Or maybe the warden herself had something to do with the crime.
Did they turn off the power to something?
Did they turned off?
First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm.
Good morning, Mr. Winter.
What? You? How'd you get here before me?
I know Eustace is an idiot by no fault of his own, but even he couldn't have failed to notice the grown man and his friends there in the yard.
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep.
Or, in more accurate terms, just a few hours before we discovered his body in the workshop.
Yeah, it is pretty sus.
Dang it, Capcom, why'd you have to localize this game so late? Now 2020's fellows are gonna have quite a time with this line.
I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you, or your precious family.
Those should sound like empty threats if he's kept in maximum security, but Connor sure has methods for a blind guy if it worked.
Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras.
And that happens every week, late at night? Granted, most of the inmates would already be asleep by the time it happens, but you're telling me no one noticed the pattern until now? And if they have, what kind of answer was given for the power outages? If it happens periodically every week, it can't just be coincidence.
Are you objecting to my adjourning this session?
No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that.
Semantics. If he was convicted of committing murder here, that could have been grounds for a transfer to another prison, most likely a more secure facility. But because Canis hit the chisel with his bell stuck to it, Simeon became the suspect instead. But even still, there was less grounds to suspect Simeon than to suspect Canis.
Because all the other children in my little home are absolute sweethearts. They have faith in themselves and one another. They have faith in the guards, in me, and they work hard every day to better themselves. None of them would dare commit murder.
Except maybe Rocco Carcerado. You surmise that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman sent to kill you by getting himself arrested for an attempted assassination that actually turned out to be staged?
Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound?
That didn't stop you from claiming Canis used the chisel on Knight.
Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid.
Objection!
Oh, come on, G. You're just giving a killer a chance to destroy the evidence.
Maybe, but that didn't stop the man in the blue suit from pulling the biggest turnabouts of the century in court.
When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can to the very end?
All it took for Edward to think back to what the real murder weapon could be is this pep talk from Kay and Fender. What is with the colors going inverted in these parts? Why make us think the chisel was the real murder weapon, rather than whatever was really used? One of the options is to suggest the idea to transfer a dead man. Also, if you wanted us to suspect Connus, you shouldn't have tied the bell around the chisel fabricated as the murder weapon. These particular bells are unique, because there are only 2 of them in existence.
What?
Did you not know that? How would you not know that? You might recall that Mr. Connus hid this chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? After giving me a not exactly subtle hint to where the real weapon was hidden? Yeah, that's right. The murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there. What a convoluted way to hide a murder weapon in these specific circumstances. All she had to do was take it back to her office and clean off the blood. That weapon is kept as evidence anyway, and with her position as warden, no one's questioning the knife anyway. What do you mean that big fur coat was a bunch of live boxes? Considering all the running around that took place to get everything needed during the investigation of the yard, I'm a little surprised that it only took 2 hours and 22 minutes since beginning the investigation to arrest Lagarde. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. And whatever happened to my deductive reasoning? Poster shows Maximilian Galactica as one of the star attractions, but he never shows anywhere in this game.
Alright, Simeon, we've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
What? Regent the tiger? No way! I can't! No!
One of your co-stars? You're kidding, right?
Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides.
Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days.
Poor, sweet, innocent Fender. He doesn't know what awaits the legal profession 18 months from now.